Welcome everyone to another great episode of Brutally Honest. I am your host Stitches MVC. That's nothing but classics music, and welcome to season 2 premiere of Brutally Honest, episode 1. Thank y'all all for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. Press 1 if it's live, 2 if it's a replay, and if y'all want a shout out, just comment anything. I'm here for you guys. Just help me share the video if you guys want. Actually, for those that actually share the video the most, I got something for you. It's actually pink. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's actually pink and red. A nice pink and red mask for you guys. If a female, even though I don't know if men actually want the pink. They probably do. It's all good, but if a man wins it, I got one for you too, killers. I got y'all one for y'all too. My kings, how's everybody doing? Let me see if I can share it at least a couple of times. Should be able to. I do appreciate everybody tuning in. I do appreciate everybody spending your time, especially being that time for me personally in my own personal beliefs. And we're going to talk about beliefs and agreements today. That's what we're going to be talking about. But in my own personal belief, I believe that time is of the essence. Time is the most valuable thing that we have in this world, in this thing that we call life. Why? Because you can never get time back. So I do appreciate everybody that's tuning in, that's commenting, that's sharing, and all of that. I do appreciate that, and I do appreciate you guys actually taking your time to spend it with me. I do appreciate that. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys had a better day than I did. I'll tell you guys that right now. I was not planning to do this like this. In my head, I was supposed to be somewhere else, doing something else, still doing with the show, but those were my plans. And the reality is only God's plan that's fulfilled at the end of the day. We may want to do this and want to do that, but we don't know any better. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to put it all in God's hands. You know, a lot of times we stress over the things that we can't control. A lot of times we stress over the things that happen, that unprecedented, unplanned, unexpected, and things like that, and we stress it. Now, the definition of stress is making things bigger than what they are. That's what stress is. But let's start with the show. Today, I'm actually going to talk to you guys about something very important today. Today, I'm actually going to talk to you guys about The 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. This book changed my life, and I am compelled to speak about this. I am compelled to spread this message so that with the purpose of enlightening others. I know how it is, going through life where people try us, people test us, when people say things that they shouldn't be saying, when people assume, when people judge you, when people criticize you. I know life is very stressful, especially when you hold on to all that energy, but that's something that I really want to talk to you guys about today. Just help me share. I would appreciate that. Whoever shares the most will get a Brutally Honest mask. Press 1 if it's live and y'all want a shout out, and press 2 if you guys are watching the show on the replay. This is Brutally Honest Season 2, Episode 1. Do appreciate y'all for tuning in. So let me just turn on my iPad so I'll be able to see the comments, because I really want to engage with all the comments today. Julius Cruz, what's good? Betty, what's up? How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Hope you had a better day than I did. I literally just got to the studio like 5 minutes ago, but I'm here. Thank you, God, for allowing me this space to speak to everybody that's tuning in and everybody that's around me, and hopefully the messages can continue to be spreading, and it could be a domino effect. What's missing these lives? I was too. It's in my veins, it's in my blood. But at the end of the day, I have my reasons, I have my purpose. But I'll tell you guys this. Once you get used to something or used to someone, they become normal. They become a routine. Give them something to miss, guys. Let's give them something to miss. Y'all missed me. Rashad was popping. My killer was good. We still got something in the works, bro. We still got it's still in the kitchen, man. Still in the kitchen. Let's put it in the oven and ready to bake, man. I'm ready to go. King, what's good? Now today we're gonna talk about the 4 agreements by Miguel Ruiz. I'm compelled to talk about this, to spread this message, because I want to enlighten others. Now let's start the show. The positive and negative reinforcements that we have all received in our lives, especially as children, created our beliefs. And in time, they were cemented and they were also accepted as our absolute truth. I'll give you guys an example. Maybe as kids, saying hello and saying goodbye. When you walk into somebody's house, my parents always taught me that if you walked into the house, you're the one that's supposed to say hi. You're the one because you just walked into the home. And I grew up like this, you feel me? And I felt like that was the truth and it was supposed to be like that. But some people didn't grow up like that. And maybe that's why I could find it disrespectful and things like that. But let's go on with the show, because the main reason I want to talk about this is because we've suffered in our lives because of our greatest fear. Now, 2 of our greatest fears as humans is, let's say, not being popular, which means, not being accepted and things like that. And another one is not being good enough. That's also our biggest fear. This is why we go through life always wanting to be accepted by others. We go through life always wanting to be liked. We go through life not going against the grain, avoiding confrontation. This is how we live our lives. A lot of times we don't even want to be honest with the person because we're so scared of hurting their feelings. If you guys agree with me or disagree with me, I definitely want to see them in the comments. Was good, Betty? Was good, Nikki? Tina, welcome back. I'm so excited. Tina, dímelo loca. I don't know if you're Spanish. I don't think you are. I think you commented on one of my posts. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Whoever shares the most is actually going to get a free Brutally Honest mask. I don't know if y'all can see the color, but that's actually pink and red. And if a king wins it, I got the black and red for y'all. If y'all want a black and blue, I guess y'all could have, suggested that and requested it as well, Now, our beliefs or our agreements define the person who we are, define who we can be, define who we can't be, define what we can say and define what we can't say, and define how we should act in certain situations. Our beliefs also affect on as far as what we can achieve, what we can accomplish, what goals are reachable, what dreams are attainable. You feel me? Like, that's what our beliefs is. Now, the most important belief that we have, it doesn't matter about the agreements you have with other people, with your parents, with your kids, with your friends, with your lover, with your partner, things like that. That's cool. But the most important agreement is the one that you make with yourself. That's the most important belief that we actually have. Teron, what's good? Olga Perez, 1 if it's live, and if y'all want to shout out, 2 if it's a replay. Today we actually going to be talking about the 4 agreements. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're about to get started on number 1. Bro, Sandy Martez. I hate that name. Man, so glad to see you back. Appreciate you, Teron. You know it's Michael. You know it's Stitch. Stop playing with me, killer. Stop playing with me. Number one from the 4 agreements. The 4 agreements by Miguel Ruiz. Number 1 goes like this. Be impeccable with your word. What does impeccable even mean? Impeccable means without sin, pure, sincere. Mean what you say and act upon it. Be a man or be a woman of your word. That's what we're talking about. It means without sin. By being impeccable with your word, you avoid the web of lies. I'm guilty on this as well. You feel me? I'm guilty on this as well. We all do these little white lies, and we feel like it is all good, and it doesn't even matter. And they'll never know. Oh, So what? It's not a big deal. But what happens with these white lies, yeah, guys would agree with it. It becomes a web of lies. And now you're over here stressing yourself. Now you're over here worrying about yourself. Now you're over here talking about what if they catch me? Oh man, I hope you know what's gonna happen if you get caught lying. Now it's a betrayal. Now there's no loyalty. Now there's no trust. And it's also disrespectful as well. You have to be a man and you have to be a woman of your word. That's the number one agreement. Be impeccable with your word. With your word. Now we're talking about words, right? And it goes like this. With our word, we need to add value to this world. And how do we do that? By not gossiping, by not complaining, and by not criticizing others. Unless it's constructive criticism, and especially if they ask for it. You know, there's thin lines between all of this. You feel me? But I'm just going to give y'all the facts straight up. If anybody got any questions, I'm here to respond to every single comment. And if I don't respond to them on the live, I will go back and I'll respond to the comments as I type in it. Trust me on that. Now, don't gossip, don't complain, don't criticize. Add value to this world. Bring people up. Don't bring them down. Rarely do people meet negative expectations. Like if you're telling somebody, I don't believe you can do it, all of a sudden they're not going to even try to do it. Let's be real about that. But if you're telling somebody, I believe in you, oh, I know you can do it and things like that, most of the time, especially if they're secure with themselves and they have a high self-esteem, most of the time they're going to want to meet those expectations. You feel me? I understand I understand that most expectations will lead to a disappointment. I get it. But we can control that as well. You feel me? Let's be realistic as far as that goes, you know? We have to bring people up. You also have to talk good about yourself. You feel me? That's one of the main things that you guys, everybody tuning in, that's been tuning in for the 5 years I've been doing this. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I always believe that everything you ever wanted, everything you ever needed is already inside you. It has to start with you. You have to start believing in yourself. You have to believe it. You have to love yourself. You have to accept yourself. You also have to apologize to yourself as well. We're not perfect. We're all going to mess up. Let's be real about that. We're all going to mess up. But number one agreement is be impeccable with your word. Nate, Maria, Christina, everybody tuning in. Chris, I see you, my killer. I see you. Michi, I see y'all, everybody back. I see y'all tuning in. It all starts and ends with you. Amen. Thanks, Chris. I do appreciate that. Make sure y'all tune into the show on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. exclusively on Facebook. Chris, if you got the time, I wouldn't mind if you put the link to your page. I wouldn't mind that. Be impeccable with your words. That's agreement number one. Wow, this is good, bro. I'm just getting started. There's 4 agreements. I'm just on number 1. Betty, it's all about self-love and care. Yeah, you have to start with yourself. Like, okay, so I was talking with somebody today, and actually we was in the car, and somebody cut him off, right? And he starts, and the driver, he's getting pissed, he's cursing him out and all this and all that, and I'm just laying back, and he's like, why are you so quiet? And I'm like, nah, maybe he got that call. And he's like, what call? I'm like, maybe he got the call that his wife is cheating on him, and he's over there rushing home to go and catch her. Maybe that's the call he got. He's like, and he starts laughing, and I'm like, bro, don't take this so personal. At the end of the day, we don't know what they're going through. You know, let's not take things so personal, which leads to agreement number 2. Don't take anything personal. And I'm going to be real with you guys. This is probably one of the hardest agreement to actually abide by, which is not take anything personal. Come on, you already know you have great topics. Yeah, you already know. On 1 if it's live, 2 if it's a replay. Do not take anything personal. What others do and don't do, what others say and don't say, how others act and don't act, has absolutely nothing to do with you. I'm going to be brutally honest about that, and I'm going to repeat it one more time. The second agreement is do not take anything personal. What others do or say or act has absolutely nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. What other people do is actually a reflection of themselves. Do you guys agree with me on that? Like, how everybody, what they say, how they feel, how they act, how they carry themselves, the way they are around different people. Do you guys believe that it's the people around them, or it's a reflection of the person that we're talking about? Everything is always a reflection of who you are, how you treat others. If you treat others with a lot of love, care, and respect, do you guys believe that that's exactly how you view yourself as well? I do. I want to know if you guys believe that as well. Definitely, Betty, yes, I feel you. Now, the thing about that is that their perception is going to affect their belief, how they perceive things. You cannot be taking anything personal. Like, so they cursed you out. They cursed you out. Okay, cool. I understand that they cursed you out and it could be taken personal. But if we had more awareness and we was able to dive a little deeper, or have the courage to ask questions, we will find out that maybe they was just hangry. Y'all know what hangry is, right? When you're pissed off because you're hungry because you haven't eaten all day. Even I act different when it comes to that. I'm gonna be real about that. When I haven't eaten, I have to check myself too. I have to check myself. When I'm acting erratic, or when I'm not like acting like myself, I have to check myself like, yo, what's good with you, Stitch? Now, as an empath and INFJ, I have to be aware as far as, is there something around me that's affecting my energy? Or was it that I forgot to eat breakfast? Something so simple like that. We cannot take anything personal. If you guys have any questions about that, I'm here for everything. Now, agreement number 3 from the 4 Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. This book is what changed my life, and I'm compelled to talk about this because I am happy, guys. I am happy. I got a smile on my face, and I want to spread that. I don't want y'all to go through all the BS that I've gone through. I've gone through a lot of trials, tribulations, drama, a lot of heartaches, guys. I've suffered a lot, but I'm not here to talk about the suffering. I'm here to talk about the solution. I'm here to talk about the results. Agreement number 1, be impeccable with your word. Agreement number 2, do not take anything personal. Agreement number 3, which actually bleeds into it, which is not to make any assumptions. I know y'all like that one. Vanessa Luna, thank you for commenting. It can also be trauma, and then there's those that feel something good cannot happen to them. Mindset is for sure a fact. I see also what you are saying on not trusting themselves. Well, that's actually a good question. I mean, exactly how the caption is. The main reason why they don't trust you is because they don't trust themselves. You know, that there's a lot of truth to that too. But you're here talking to me about it can be trauma, and then those that feel that something good cannot happen to them. I agree with that. I do agree with that. A lot of times we feel like we don't deserve anything good. We feel like that sometimes. So other people feel like that all the time. So it doesn't matter who comes to their life and who doesn't come into their life. They're going to be on they're not going to trust it. You feel me? They're going to be iffy about it. They're going to start thinking about it like, this is too good to be true. We deserve what we tolerate. If you feel like you deserve to be treated like trash and you tolerate it, then clearly you probably believe that that's exactly what you deserve. And you're wrong for that. You are absolutely wrong. Nobody was born in this earth just to breathe air and eat. No, we all have a purpose. The thing about that is it takes us a lot of time to actually find out what our purpose is. You know, whoever shares the most is getting the pink face mask, brutally honest. And if it's a king, I got the black and red. Let's see what's good. Let's see what's good. So now, agreement number 3, I got to you. I'm going to definitely respond to those comments after agreement number 3, which is not to make any assumptions. Expect them to be great. If you are going to make an assumption, expect them to be great. Don't expect them to fail. Don't expect them to trip. Don't expect them to break your heart. Don't expect them to do you dirty. Don't expect them to be sneaky, mischievous, tricky, iffy, funny. If we're going to expect and make an assumption of somebody, okay, cool. All right, cool. Then at least expect the best from them. At least assume the best, not assume the worst. You feel me? Like, when it comes to not making any assumptions is We can't judge others because we don't know the story. We don't know their background. We don't know their path. We don't know their blueprint. We don't know where they come from or where they're coming from. A lot of times people can say something or do something to you and we make this assumption as far as like it was me. What did I do? Oh my God, was it something I said? Come on, guys. Agreement number 3 is not to make any assumptions. I'm helping you guys as far as, how we can abide by these agreements. And it's not to judge. It's like how Luna says, like, a lot of times they go through trauma. A lot of times you walk into work, right? How many of us has walked into work and the person that always said hi to us doesn't say hi anymore? Don't we get paranoid? Don't we start feeling like, did I say something last week? Did I post something? Maybe that's why she didn't like it. She usually shares all my stuff. Oh man, you didn't do anything. He or she might have a lot of things on their mind. Maybe they didn't even see you on pass by, but we start making these assumptions and we start making things bigger than what they really are. And that's the definition of stress. You feel me? A lot of times people have moments of weakness. Sometimes you could be weak. Sometimes you could be intoxicated. Sometimes you could be high. Sometimes you could be on pills. Let's be real about this, guys. Sometimes you could just be tired. Sometimes it could just be lack of sleep. We all have moments of weakness where even us, right? Like we lash out on somebody and then we take it back immediately. Like, oh man, I didn't really mean to say that. It's the same thing how other people when we come around in their circles. You feel me? That's how it is. That's how we don't make any assumptions. It's better for you to just keep your mouth shut if you're not sure. You feel me? Like if I don't know, then I don't know. And I'm not going to be here acting like I know what it is I'm talking about. I'm just going to stay shut. Ask questions as they come around, right? But when you don't make any assumptions, you attain loyalty and you also attain their trust. Because if somebody messes up and they're around you and all of a sudden you assume the worst, they're not going to really trust you to open up and actually tell you their truth. Agreement number 4, Betty, all the time. Vanessa, if I have an expectation, sometimes people love language can differ from our own. And we may take this as them not caring or what you have. Or what have you. Love languages is extremely important, especially when you're in the talking phase and getting to know somebody's phase. You definitely need to know first your own love language so you can know how you receive love, and you also need to know their love languages as well. You feel me? Like I was on the show on Tuesday. I was a guest on it, and James Lapkin, he said something like, her love language was quality time. My love language is gifts. So I'm over here buying her teddy bears and jewelry and roses and flowers, thinking I'm doing something, and she still feels like I don't love her because I didn't know that she preferred the time more than materialistic things. Now that's definitely, I'm so glad you actually mentioned love language. For sure, by their fruits you shall know them. Yes, making an assumption. I love the way you capitalize that. I also know exactly what you mean by that. Just listen and talk to me nice. Just listen and talk to me nice. But a lot of times people act out of emotions. People act out of their own feelings. You feel me? Like they're going through something and they just lash out to you, or they just got a phone call as far as, or maybe their kids was misbehaving in school, or maybe they just broke up or something like that, and their mind is so flooded with these feelings and emotions, and they can't even have a good conversation with you without even thinking about exactly what's wrong with them. Agreement number 4 is do your best. So agreement number 1 is be impeccable with your word. Number 2 is don't take anything personal. And number 3 is don't make any assumptions. Now number 4 is do your best. Type 1 if it's live, 2 if it's a replay. Whoever shares the most, I got you. Do your best. What does that even mean, do your best? Do the best that you can. Where you at? And what I mean by that is like a lot of times you could be sick. A lot of times you're not feeling up to it. A lot of times, like you don't even have the energy. still do your best. I'm saying do. I did not even mention try in this episode. I'm not talking about try. We don't try no more. We do. When you try, you're expecting to fail. When you do, you see nothing else. Ain't no looking back. You're just looking forward. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You are determined. You have that passion. That you have that desire that's burning inside of you. Ain't nobody trying no more. We too old to be trying. We're smart enough and wise enough to do. You feel me? That's what, as far as do your best. It can always change. Your best can always change depending on how you feel. You know, I'm not saying like don't try. Do it. Don't try to be a good mother. Don't try to be a good father. Don't try to be a good family member. Don't try to be a good employee. Don't try to be a good business owner. Don't try. Do it. It's already inside you. We all can do it. Just do it. You know? And also know that you won't always succeed. Sometimes you might fall short. It's natural. We're humans. But we need to understand that failures are just a seed of success. That's a quote from Napoleon Hill. With every failure, there's a seed of success. So if you have enough awareness and if you have enough positive energy resonating around you, you're going to understand that regardless of how many times you fell down, you had the strength to get back up. No matter how many steps you took back, you got enough energy to take those same steps forward. No matter how many times you thought you failed, no, you just learned a way how it doesn't work. You're getting closer to succeeding. Don't give up. Always do your best. That's how you're going to minimize regrets. We also have to understand that we are our worst critic. No one's going to treat you as bad as what you treat yourself. You know, if you tolerate somebody cursing you out, and you guys tolerate that, it's because you treat yourself worse. It's because it doesn't match. All the words that they use to put you down doesn't match or compare to how much you be bringing yourself down. Those are the 4 agreements. Just listen and talk to me nice. Yesenia Correa Corinne. I definitely do appreciate everybody tuning in. Next week, I got a special guest, guys. Next week, y'all gonna like this one. We're gonna talk about relationships, right? And it goes something like this. 90% of women want a real man. 90% of women want a real man. What? First of all, what's a real man nowadays, especially since men and women are so equal? So we're talking about 90% of women just want a real man, a man to be a man. And the other 10%, they just want a boy that they can control. Interesante. That's going to be great. I can't wait to talk about that. You know, I definitely wanted to start season 2 of Brutally Honest, episode 1. I wanted to start it on a good note. I wanted to start it on the path where I left off from last season, you know? Which is just to help people out, enlighten others, bring people on so we could talk on a face-to-face, you know? It doesn't matter about the views or the comments or that's cool, but that's not my focus. The focus is fulfilling my own soul, which is fulfilling my gift that God blessed me with, which is, you know, to help other people and things like that. Now, there is a 5th agreement. That's a separate book, and I want to talk about that. I only read the book once. I want to read the book a little bit more, answer the own questions that I have, you know, do more research as far as the Q&As and things like that, so I can relate that message from the 5th agreement, which has everything to do with perception. I can't wait for that topic. The questions that come to mind, jot them down, girl, jot them down. 1, if it's live. 2, if it's a replay. Oh man, Vanessa Luna. How are you? You still here? You still here, Vanessa? Press 1 if you're still here, Vanessa. I think I got something for you. I think I might got something for you. So next week, we're going to be talking about how 90% of women want a man to be a man. And the other 10%, they just want a boy that they can control and walk all over it. I know you guys have a lot to say about that. I know you guys have a lot to say about that. Anybody that's watching live right now, press 1 and let me know that you guys are watching live. Press 1. I'm about to give away the mask. Just press 1. Press 1. Press 1. Now today we spoke about the 4 agreements by Miguel Ruiz. Agreement number 1, be impeccable with your word. Agreement number 2, don't take anything personal. Agreement number 3, don't make any assumptions. And agreement number 4 is do your best. I do want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. I just want to let y'all know that life is balance. Throughout your darkest time, you're right around the corner where the sun will shine the brightest. You just have to believe in yourself. You just have to trust in yourself, and you have to love yourself first. Let's stop looking for everything outwards when it's already inside of us. Let's stop looking for acceptance when we should be accepting ourselves. Let's be real about that. Betty Perez, congratulations. This mask is yours. Thank you always for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. I fully appreciate that. Next week, I'll be giving away this mask. How about that? Let's give something away every week, you know? I do appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. I just want to say that I love y'all all. God bless y'all. If you guys commented and I didn't respond through the live, I will go back and I will respond to it as well. Make sure y'all tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. It's Brutally Honest Unfiltered. Thank y'all again. Tuning out. Your boy Stitches, NBC. Love y'all all.